We often think great communication is about saying the right thing, about having the perfect words at the tip of our tongue, ready to be unleashed at a moment's notice. We believe that eloquence and a constant stream of articulate thoughts are the keys to connecting with others. But the real secret, the truly powerful tool, is knowing when to say nothing at all. It's about recognizing the profound impact of silence in fostering deeper understanding and more meaningful communication. In a world obsessed with constant chatter, a world where noise is the norm and every moment seems to be filled with the clamor of voices, both real and virtual, silence feels awkward, like a void we must fill, a gaping hole in the fabric of conversation that demands immediate attention and a flurry of words to patch it up. We're conditioned to believe that silence is a sign of discomfort, a signal that something is wrong. But silence is powerful. It's a force to be reckoned with, a tool that can unlock hidden depths in our interactions. It's not an absence, not just an empty space devoid of meaning, but an invitation for others to share their thoughts, their feelings, their vulnerabilities, and a sign of respect, a demonstration that you value what the other person has to say, that you're willing to create space for their voice to be heard. The best conversations aren't rapid-fire exchanges, a frantic volley of words where each person is just waiting for their turn to speak. They're defined by a rhythm of speaking and listening, a delicate dance between expressing ourselves and truly hearing what the other person is saying, sound and silence, a harmonious blend that creates a space for genuine connection. Silence lets ideas land, allowing them to take root and blossom in the fertile ground of contemplation, and emotions surface, giving them the space to breathe and be acknowledged without being immediately dismissed or analyzed, turning ordinary talks into meaningful dialogue, transforming superficial exchanges into profound moments of understanding and empathy. Embracing silence means shifting from wanting to be interesting, from feeling the need to constantly impress and entertain, to being interested, genuinely curious about the other person's thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It's about receiving, not just transmitting, about absorbing the information and emotions being shared, rather than simply broadcasting our own thoughts and opinions. When we allow for quiet, when we resist the urge to fill every gap with words, we're not passive, we're not simply waiting for our turn to speak. We're deeply engaged, actively listening, observing, and processing the information being shared, truly understanding the person in front of us, connecting with them on a deeper level, and building a foundation of trust and empathy. This simple shift, this willingness to embrace the power of silence, is the foundation, the bedrock upon which all meaningful relationships are built, for extraordinary connection in every part of life, fostering deeper bonds with our friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. Silence is not the end of communication. It's where real communication begins, the fertile ground from which understanding, empathy, and genuine connection can blossom. Every conversation, no matter how simple it may seem on the surface, is actually a complex interplay of different elements. It's not just about the words being spoken, but also about the underlying needs, emotions, and social dynamics at play. It's like three conversations happening at once, all interwoven and influencing each other. Understanding these different layers is crucial for effective communication. There's the practical, the emotional, and the social. Each of these aspects requires a different approach and a different level of awareness. The practical is about logistics and solutions. It's the nuts and bolts of the conversation. Who's picking up the kids? How do we finish this project on time? What are the concrete steps we need to take? The emotional is about feelings, the often unspoken undercurrent that drives our mutual connection. How do we feel about this situation? Are we being heard and understood? Are our emotional needs being met? The social is about identity and belonging, our place within the group, and how we relate to others. Who are we in this relationship or group? What role do we play? Do we feel accepted and valued? Problems arise when we're on different channels, when we're not aligned in our understanding of which conversation is taking place. For example, one person wants empathy and understanding, while the other offers practical solutions and advice. This mismatch can lead to frustration and disconnection. Super communicators recognize which conversation is happening. They're attuned to the subtle cues and signals that indicate the dominant mode of communication. And they adjust their communication style accordingly, shifting gears to meet the needs of the moment. They listen for the underlying need, not just the surface level words being spoken. They try to understand what's really being asked for. Matching the conversation type prevents misunderstandings, fosters deeper connections, and ultimately builds trust. The key is tuning in to the right channel at the right time, being present and responsive to the needs of the other person. That's how you truly connect, not just communicate on a superficial level. It's about building genuine human interaction. For years, my wife and I experienced a recurring challenge in our relationship. It was a subtle yet persistent disconnect that often left us feeling like we were speaking different languages. We kept missing each other in conversation, not intentionally, but through different communication styles and expectations. It felt like we were ships passing in the night, each with our own destination and signal, unable to truly align. I'd vent about work, needing empathy, a listening ear, and a shoulder to lean on after a particularly tough day. I wanted to feel understood and validated in my frustrations, but she'd jump in with solutions, eager to fix the problem and alleviate my stress with practical advice. She'd offer strategies and suggestions, ready to tackle the issues head on. She thought she was helping, genuinely believing that solving the problem would be the best way to support me and ease my burden. Her intentions were always pure and loving. I felt misunderstood, as if my feelings were being dismissed or overlooked in favor of a quick fix. It created a sense of emotional distance and a feeling of not being truly heard. We were both trying our best, each operating from a place of love and good intentions. But our efforts were misaligned and often led to further frustration. But we were on different channels, our communication styles clashed, and our needs weren't being met. It was a classic case of good intentions gone awry. Me emotional, seeking validation and understanding. Her practical, offering solutions and a logical approach. It led to frustration and feeling unheard, creating tension and a sense of disconnect between us. We were stuck in a cycle of miscommunication. Everything changed when we realized this mismatch, when we finally understood the different needs and expectations we brought to the conversation. Now, I say, I just need to vent, clearly stating my need for emotional support without expecting solutions. And she asks, do you want advice or just a listener? Providing me with the space to choose the type of support I need in that moment. This simple check-in transformed our communication, creating a more understanding and supportive dynamic between us. We finally connected, not just talked, truly understanding each other's needs and perspectives. Identifying the conversation type, recognizing the underlying needs and expectations, can turn frustration into real connection, fostering a deeper sense of intimacy and understanding. It's a small shift with a huge impact, a simple adjustment that can dramatically improve communication and strengthen relationships. Try it. You'll be amazed at how such a small change can make such a big difference in your relationships. You might be surprised at the positive outcome. Want to connect? Ask deeper questions. Instead of what do you do, try what do you love about your work. Deep questions invite stories, values, and vulnerability. They show genuine curiosity and encourage openness. When you go beneath the surface, you create trust and real connection. It's not about prying, but about listening for the right moment to go deeper. Even a small shift, like asking about someone's biggest surprise in a new chapter, can spark a memorable conversation. Dare to ask what truly matters. Deep questions and silence can change lives, even in medicine. Dr. Ide, a cancer surgeon, struggled to convince patients to avoid unnecessary surgery. He realized he was having a practical conversation, but his patients needed an emotional and social one. He started asking, how much this diagnosis important for you? Then listened in silence. Patients shared fears, hopes, and stories, not medical facts. By understanding their real concerns, Dr. Ide could address what truly mattered. His advice became more effective, and patients made better decisions. Silence and deep listening turned medical consultations into healing conversations. Sometimes the best medicine is simply being heard. That's the power of listening. Offering your silence is a profound gift. In a noisy world, true listening is rare. When you hold back and let others speak, you show their words matter. Silence encourages people to dig deeper, revealing what's really on their minds. Don't rush to fill the gap. Let the pause do its work. Especially when someone is vulnerable, your quiet presence builds trust. Practice waiting a few seconds before responding. Use that time to absorb, not just prepare your reply. This small habit can transform you into a leader in any conversation. Sometimes saying nothing says everything. Now it's your turn. Try a simple experiment. Next time you want to connect, ask a deep question and really listen. Don't interrupt, don't judge, just give your full attention. Notice how the conversation changes. Anyone can become a great communicator. It's a skill, not a talent. It starts with listening more than you speak. Learn to match the conversation type, ask deeper questions, and embrace silence. Our brains are wired for connection. A great conversation leaves us feeling understood, energized, and more human. Start today. Transform your talks into true connections. Thanks for being here. If you learned something new, show some love. Like, share, and subscribe to stay connected.